There's a lot of information out there on the internet about screenwriting, but today we're going to break it down in its simplest terms, and you're going to learn how to write a script in real time with me. Let's get started. All right, so we're jumping back into Final Draft now, and we're going to craft our script. I'm going to create this one right off the top of my head, so I know from the beginning it's not going to be perfect, and that's fine. We're in a process. We're in a journey right now. So we have to come up with these ideas, and we have to be going through there. One of the things we're going to use is just what I see around me. So this is going to be a little experiment for me, because I've never written a script this way as well, but I've written a lot of scripts. And so I'm going to take what I see around me and try to turn it into something in real time. So let's get started. I've opened up Final Draft and I have the program ready to go. If you remember here, we have that interior and we have that exterior. You also see that it says IE, and that would mean that we're cutting in and out of the interior and the exterior. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep it a little bit more simple today. So we're just going to start with interior garage -day. You'll see day, dawn, dusk. If you want to write something in there that's not in there, it will keep all of these things ready for you as you go throughout. So you'll be able to keep new things. So if I might have interior garage and, unknown time of day because the doors are closed, and so I won't know what's going on. And so now I'm just going to kind of write what I see, and then we're going to take it from there. So the garage is sparsely lit by the open bay door. A man. So I'm gonna give my character just the name of man for right now. We're not gonna give it a name. And then if it's important to know how old they are, this is the time to write all of those kind of things. So I'm gonna say 30s. You can guess how old I am, but 30s-ish. He sits in a black t-shirt and shorts, typing on a computer. So this is literally what you're looking at right now. I'm not even worried about misspellings or any of those things right now. I'm just trying to get it all out. One of the things that I notice with students and with new filmmakers and new artists in general is we're always trying to make it perfect. We're always trying to make it the best it possibly can. And it doesn't start that way the first time. You got to get it down on paper, and then this time in computer, and that way we can be able to actually see what we have to work with. So don't worry about it being perfect. Let's just get started. He's typing on a computer. The sound of a jackhammer fills the air. The man is rattled by the noise. He gets up and walks to the door. So if this is me right now, you can not hear any of these kind of things, but it could be what's happening. I'm starting to get into a little bit of the imagination of it. And I don't know where I'm going yet, and that's totally fine. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. So if I got up and I walked to the door, that would be where I walk to the door. He stands in silence and looks at the clouds. They move faster than they should. So now I'm getting into a little bit of terminology and different ways of writing to communicate something to you. And so if I said they move faster than they should, you as the audience might read that as a time lapse. You might read that as the wind is blowing. And so I am starting to get in where I'm manipulating kind of what the time and space of all of this can do. And so these are things that you can use in screenwriting because we're using imagination. So think about that. So they move faster than they should. So that is going to be a time lapse in my mind right now. So I'll get more clear with it as I continue to go on. The sun reveals itself as a cloud moves and clears its rays. I'm going to now shift to another location. I'm just going to jump out of this one. And so I'm going to jump to exterior, and I'm going to go to field, and I'm going to go to sunset. Okay, so as that's going, it reveals that the sun balloons the sky, it blooms around everything, and then it transitions us to a sunset. So the same man sits in the field. His computer rests on his lap. So you might get where I'm going now. I'm basically typing this, and you're starting to see inside my head as my imagination kind of flows around. The keys fill his vision as his fingers type furiously. So now I'm getting into some times of like how to tell you where I think the camera should go. As a screenwriter, one of the things you're going to hear if you watch anybody else is probably going to be like, do not ever put stage direction in your script. Directors don't like it. You might be making your own film, so write it in there if you want. We'll figure that out later. So right now, I'm talking about the keys of the keyboard. I'll even get more specific here so you know. Fill his vision. So what I'm in my mind is like we're really, really close up of just like the keys is click, 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 click. It's starting to fill up. Seriously. They blend with the clouds passing by, almost seeming to float in midair. So now I'm kind of breaking them apart. So now maybe there's individual keys that are clicking up in the sky and we have them like translucent on top of things. I'm trying to figure out what that's going to look like. But I want to get you into my mind. They float in midair. So now we're going to add some voiceover. We're going to have somebody start to talk. And to do this, we're going to use the man and it's going to be voiceover from him. So what we're going to do is we're going to press tab. And then we're going to type in man, and then we're going to press return or enter. And now you're down into your dialogue section. So in here, I'm going to say, the clouds were less blue that day, almost as if they were invisible. This is a weird line of dialogue. I know that. That's totally fine. But I also don't want him to speak it. So I have to make this into voiceover. And to do that, it's very easy. I'm going to click back up here to man. I'm going to press space. I'm going to make a parenthesis. And then I'm going to have all these different little subtext things that I can do. And so what I'll have here is I have voiceover. I have off screen, off camera, continued subtitle, and text. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a off screen. Or as a VO. So basically, this will not sound like it's in the place that he's currently at. It will be recorded later. It can be recorded after we're filming, and that's totally fine. And we'll be able to put it together. So now that I have this here, I'm going to be able to press enter again. And then I'm going to go back to what I was typing with all of these things. So a door presents itself in the distance, not connected to a house. So I want you to know that there is a door off in the distance. It's kind of cracked open and it's not connected to any kind of house. So I want you to be able to know that this is not really, this is in your imagination. This is not real. It's not reality. The man stands to walk away. His original body stays in place. All right, I'm gonna get really crazy here. So now what that would mean is I'm sitting here, and then whenever I get up to stand, I'm still going to be here. So it'd be something like this. So I'd have these two versions of me that literally moved, and now we're kind of in parallel and tandem. This is all your imagination. Do whatever you want to do. Have fun. Make your film. Make what you want to make. So his original body stays in place. The man walks towards the door, silhouetted by the light coming from inside. So the door is open, walks to the door, towards the door, now opened and silhouetted by the light coming from inside. So what I'm saying now is that the man has got up, he walked, he's still typing, he's still doing all of his things. He walks over to the door, he's silhouetted. So we have these two things happening simultaneously. All right. The man enters the door, revealing a cloudy skyscape. Remember earlier when he was standing by the door? I'm kind of tying that back together now. So he's back by the door. I'm going to go back to typing now, and I want this to still be voiceover, so I'm going to finish what I was talking about up here. They were less blue that day, almost if they were invisible. The wind blew from below, not like what I normally knew. I'm going to come back and I'll finish all these things, but what I want to do is I want to have like this kind of like poetic rambling throughout this whole kind of script here. So now I'm going to go back down here And we're going to go back to interior. And we're going to come back to this garage. And we're going to come back to day. The man continues to stand, staring. Hello? Out at the sky. That was my neighbor. He works in the background, two versions happening simultaneously. And then fade out. Actually, I'm going to do cut to black. All right. So we have our little script here, and so now we can be able to put this together. But before we do anything else, we need to look through it and make sure it kind of makes sense. So it's sparsely lit. There we go. Oh. It's sparsely lit by the open bay door. A man 30, he sits in black t-shirt and shorts typing on a computer. Sound of a jackhammer fills the air. The man is rattled by the noise. He gets up, walks to the door, stands in silence, looks at the clouds. They move faster. We have that time lapse. The sun reveals itself as the cloud moves. The same man sits, his computer rests on his lap. So we have all these different things that are happening simultaneously, and we can be able to like kind of piece this together. If this tutorial was helpful and informative to you, then I would be honored if you would share this with others, like, subscribe, all those kind of things. If there's something I left out that would be helpful, I can go into a further deeper dive, just drop a comment below. Also check out bronsoncreative.us. I have a lot of free templates over there, including an ebook that will help you with structuring out your first project, especially if it's becoming overwhelming. You can also check out my films there. You can buy them, rent them, all those kind of things. So I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.